All right, so we will get started right now. And let's see here. Okay, so I want to welcome everyone that's here for our first session. So we will get started right now. Hold on. And let's see. Okay, so I want to welcome everyone that's here for our first session. Sorry, some technical stuff here. Okay, so we are about to start right now. We'll be here for the next 45 minutes or so, and we are doing a series of seven live webinars. And of course, there's always a couple issues here and there. Okay, and we are in session one of seven. So I want to welcome everybody here. Today's topic, yeah, is how can you rebuild, re-energize, and enhance your business by making more sales and revenue. And that's really one of the important things right now, isn't it? Especially right now, and especially for any business, any enterprise that we have, because no matter how much you love your business, no matter the passion, no matter how good your service is, how good your product is, nothing happens until somebody buys something from you, right? And so one of the things that I believe is that sales and revenue is the lifeblood of your business, all right? And my I want to make a couple promises to you. I sincerely respect your time and effort in being here with all of us on this session. And my first promise is I will not waste your time. I promise to share relevant and valuable information on this session, and you don't need to believe everything I say. You don't need to think, oh, I like and trust Chris. I'm going to back up everything that I share with you. Okay, I think that's fair, right? So we're also recording this session, and we'll get it sent to you within 24 hours as a private YouTube link, so you can replay, fast forward, and rewind the parts that you want to hear and watch again. Now, one of the things that I am very very firm on is that the sessions that I do, they're not a pitch fest. There's no hard selling. There's no getting you to buy anything at an unreasonable or a inflated price. Now, I may offer some services or products and explain them, but I promise you no hard selling. Okay. Um, I hope you're okay with these promises, and I'd like to ask you a favor. You're probably going to have questions along the way. So you can either type your questions in the chat or write them down, and you can ask me at the end of our session during the Q&A. All right. Now, the one of the things I want to share is before COVID, I want to share before 2020 last year we all got hit with what we're getting hit with now, right? And it almost seems like it's repeating, isn't it? So before 2020, a company approached me and said, "Hey, you know what? We need some help." And so they're actually a financial education company. The closing ratio was rather low. It's 10%. Even an average business or an average sales generator, a very average sales professional, the closing ratio should be right about 20 to 25%. I mean, statistically, it should be minimum 20%. 20% means out of 10 qualified people that you talk to, you should close at least two. All right. Uh, so this company, before they came to me, they've been around for uh, about 4 years. I think closer to four, and their closing ratio was 10%. They were with that particular product and service, they were generating about 10,000 in revenue a month. So we went through a complete training program, actually very similar to some of the things that we're doing in these seven sessions. Um, and so we went through, but it was very very intensive for their team. So we did the social media services, we did a sales conversion training, with them, and after about 3 weeks, their results shot up. After 3 weeks, the closing ratio was now 75, right about 75 to 85%. and they were on track. And over the next few months, they started generating about 130,000 a month in revenue. So in 2019, from 10,000 a month, we turned them into $1 million company. Now, if you were, I'm not saying that you definitely will, but what I'm saying is, if you were able to go from wherever you are right now and double or triple. Now, once again, I cannot promise, you know, uh, I cannot tell you that you're going to double, triple, or quadruple or 10 times your revenue. It has to be intense, and we'll go through some of the components and some of the factors on how they were able to generate this. Okay, let me share some screenshots that I have from the owner of the company. Uh, you know, 75% success rate. Uh, they had 12 prospects. They signed up 9 out of 12, where they used to sell none, or they used to sell one. So, and then later on, after about another 3 or 4 weeks, he updated again. 81% closing ratio, 9 sign up out of 11. Now all this is good, right? And one of the things that we have to be aware of is that confidence comes from success, all right? But success comes from belief and skills and daily action. And I'll share a little bit more of that with you during this session as well. So one of the things that really transformed him was his confidence shot up. Now he owned the company for about 3 4 years, and he was going through business and going through life, accepting 10,000, $12,000 a month. But when he had this success, when he had these kinds of results, he said, um, his confidence shot up. And that's what we really want to do, because we cannot start with, oh yeah, positive and jumping on chairs and tables and feeling that way, because that feeling is going to go away. And if you don't have success, confidence is going to go down. So what we need to do is we need to have skills, we need to have a belief in ourselves, and we need to do this every single day. Now, the current situation is that their business went down right after March of last year, but we retooled a couple things, and they did not do a million from March to December last year, but they did way better. They did way better than um, they didn't even come close to the 10,000 a month from that point on. All right, so in our situation, right, a lot of us is like, feeling up and down, especially these couple weeks, and especially this week and moving forward, right? So one of the things I do understand is that business is already challenging, right? Raise your hand if you think that business is challenging by itself, even in non challenging times, right? So this year, and maybe for the foreseeable future, we have extra challenges, right? So we have this wonderful thing called COVID. It affects the economy. People hesitant to spend money, right? Then you add in the restrictions, the social distancing, the lockdown, whatever it is. So I tried to follow up with a client. Let's see, I think about 2 weeks ago. So I called the office, and I was told, oh, he's working from home. I think David, you'll experience this a lot, right?
Yes, yes.
Right? So I'm told he's working from home. I asked, how can I get in touch with him? And this is what I was told. They said, call his mobile number. And I said, okay, great. I'll call his mobile number. What is it? And they refused to give it to me. And I'm going, you know, okay. First of all, you work from home. The only way to get a hold of you is your mobile number. But they're saying that, oh no, it's private information. I said, I'm not calling to date the guy. All right. I'm calling for a business follow up that he asked me to call. All right. So we're experiencing things like that. Okay. And thankfully, that's not our only prospect. But you combine all of this, and what we have is uncertainty. Now, the reason we're struggling is this is what I believe. It's not the pandemic or the lockdowns that's breaking us now. It's hampering us, and it might be handcuffing us, but it's not why we're breaking or why some companies have closed down. A couple of weeks ago, when you go around and then you look at all the retail shops, I mean, so many are closed, right? And when I send out messages, yeah, I get a lot back. I said, oh, this person resigned, we're closed down, and things like that, right? So this situation, it actually reveals what is already broken, even though we don't realize it, and it's showing us what we need to fix, and we need to fix all of this now. And so that's one of the reasons why we created this webinar series, and we're running it again. We ran this series earlier this year, and we're running it again, and we fine tune it to 7 topics. The last series we did 12. Okay, so this is the reason why we created this webinar series, is to help us fix a few things, and let's have a better 2021. Okay, and I received this message last year in 2020 when everything was still uncertain. In my opinion, 2020 was one of the worst years globally, yeah, that we're going through. So, young real estate professional in the Philippines going through a very, very hard time. Attended, a compressed 2-day training sponsored by the company, and he made a sale within 2 days, and his commission was about 4,500 US. Okay, and the things that I teach, if you follow, it works. Now, interestingly, that company, we did a couple more things with them in 2020, and from April to December of 2020, they actually sold more units than they did in 2019. Okay, so we we like to make excuses. We always say no time, no money, and we have said all these things, right? Oh, no time to learn, no time to attend a meeting, no time to study, no time to review, no time to go on a vacation, no money to invest. Um, you know, a little thing here. We all heard of Bitcoin, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So I was offered for a project back in 2000, if I recall, 2007, plus minus, and I was offered 200 Bitcoin, and I said, "What the heck is this Bitcoin thing, right?" And I turned it down. I took cash instead, and if I had kind of known what was Bitcoin, and I know Bitcoin's going down, but at its height, a few weeks ago, one Bitcoin was worth right about 50, 60,000. Okay. So then I think, 200 Bitcoin, if I had taken it and I had received it and I kept it, I would have whatever I would have, at this time. So we say that no money to invest, right? We say no money to fix the car, no money to buy a watch, no money to fix a computer, whatever it is. And what I like to invite you to do is, I want you to commit to yourself and say no more excuses. But it's very easy to say. And what we need to do is we need to change the question. We should ask this instead. We should ask ourselves, if the quality of my life depended on it, what would I do? If the happiness of my family depended on it, what would I do? The best investment you can make is for you to invest in yourself, whether it's investing in terms of time or money. Okay. And uh, I want to tell you, I'm going to be selling you today. All right. But what I'm going to be selling you is, I'm going to sell you the idea that you can do more, you can earn more, and you can achieve more. I'm going to be selling you to yourself. All right. And I will offer some resources, over the next 7 sessions, but probably not today. All right. I think most of you know me, so I'll skip through all the nice things that I say about myself. All right, but I will mention this. I did start my company in 1998, but I started my working career in the U.S. Uh, let's see, that was back in 1994, 1995, in the sales industry, right? And there were a couple challenges that I've gone through. Okay, first was the recession in the U.S. in 1994. to about 1996. Now, I didn't know what a recession was. I didn't realize I, I could not understand what a recession was because people were saying, oh, U.S. economy in a recession and all those things. I didn't understand what it was, and thankfully I didn't understand because I didn't let it affect me, and I was still able to earn in 1995, 1996, and 1997, working for a company as a sales professional. I was still able to earn 100,000 USD a year in 1995, 96, and 97. Okay, then I started my company in 1998, and then in the first few years of my business, 2001, 9/11. 9/11 really devastated a lot of companies in the U.S. And again in 2008, financial crisis. It caused me to close down one of my other businesses in the mortgage and banking industry. And then this one didn't really affect me a lot, but I think it affected some of us on this session, right? SARS around 2010, and then of course now we have COVID. COVID is very different because it's affecting literally everybody in the world is being affected, uh, in one way or another by this. All right, but one of the things that I learned, through all these challenges, all these obstacles, setbacks, I learned one very important lesson. That lesson is buyers are always buying, and sellers should always be selling. Whatever, whatever your product or service is, somebody will buy it. Okay, everybody on this session right now, whatever your product or service is, I I believe that you have sold at least one, at least one thing, right? And my belief is if you can sell one of your product and services to one client, you can sell to 10. If you can sell to 10, you can sell to 100. If you can sell one product or service a week, you can sell one every day. If you can sell one every day, you can sell two or three. Of course, depending on your product and service. So, what does this mean? What it means is, regardless of the economy, regardless of the weather, or any situation, there will always be buyers for any product and service. So what you have to do is you have to put yourself in front of those buyers. What you have to do is you have to put yourself in front of those buyers, and you have to stand out from your competition. Now, let me ask you a quick question, and maybe you can type this, type your answer in the chat. All right. When we have competitors, when we have competition, how much better do we have to be than our competition? Do we have to be twice as good as them, or do we have to be 10 times better than our competition? Just type that in the chat for me. All right. And while you're doing that, my answer is this: you don't have to be twice as good as your competition or 10 times as good as your competition. You just have to be a little bit better than your competition to get you to stand out. All right. So over the next 7 sessions, we'll discuss how you're going to stand out. Actually, everything that we talk about, we'll be talking about how you stand out from the competition, how you get in front of buyers, and how you close the deal. All right. So if buyers are always buying and sellers should always be selling, you should aim for, to be the one selling to them. Now we start this way. Of course, you need to make sure that your product or service must have quality. Um, you should have a reasonable price, and you should offer exceptional value, and then back it up with excellent service. You have to make sure of these things, and we all believe that. We all say, I give good service, my product and service is good. But I want you to think about this. I want you to think about, in your industry, are there companies and professionals that suck? The answer is yes, right? The answer is yes. We all have competitors, and we know that some of them are really, really bad. We know that some products are really bad. We know that some of them give poor service, right? But when they're in front of prospects, what do they say? My company is excellent. We have a great product. We give great service. We all say those things. Every company, every professional says those things. What we have to make sure is that it's all true. Okay. Now, we regardless of the product and service that we sell, we must have the marketing mindset. Okay, what I've learned is that there's no magic formula, there's no shortcut to success. The reason I know this is because I've been looking for it, okay, and I've never been able to find that magic formula or a shortcut to success, okay. But if there was a magic formula, it would actually be this: you think about your current situation. Now, when I say unhappy or dissatisfied, I'm not saying that you must be, oh, you know what, complaining and whining about your business and your life. When I say that you must be unhappy or dissatisfied, you must have this thing in your mind and in your heart that says, you know what, this is my current level, my current results, my current income. And yes, we appreciate everything that we have, but we must have this in our mind that says, I need to do better. I need to want more. So if like the example I shared earlier, that company that was generating 10,000 a month, and they were generating consistently 10,000 a month for about 3 or 4 years. The reason they were generating 10,000 a month for 3 or 4 years is for two reasons. The first is they accepted that level. They accepted that level of income. They said, "Yeah, 10,000 a month is what we do. I'm okay with that." That's what it actually means, right? Because they were consistently doing 10,000 a month, and they didn't think that they could do more, and they were okay with that, and they were happy with 10,000 a month. But when we had a conversation, and they said, "You know what? Actually, 10,000 a month is not acceptable." Okay, we need to bring that out of us, and tell ourselves, whatever my level of income, whatever however many clients I'm closing in a month, that's not acceptable. I'm unhappy with that level, okay, and I want more. That's what we have to do first. Because if you're happy with your level of income, you're happy with the number of clients that you have, you might as well not be here, okay. And if you're happy with that, continue doing what you're doing. Nothing wrong with that. But if you want more, then the next step is you must make a decision. You must make a decision, and you must tell yourself, and excuse my language, um, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of earning only 10,000 a month. You must tell yourself, I'm tired of this. I want more. You must tell yourself that you are not going to accept being average. You're not going to accept, oh, I don't feel like cold calling today. Oh, you know what? I don't know who to call today. You must make a decision and stop all of that. And the third step is actually the most critical. The most critical is that you must take action. You must take action every single day. Okay? There's a concept that I call regimentation. Regimentation, is part of discipline. All right, but for me, regimentation is so much stronger than discipline, because regimentation means you do what you're supposed to do, whether you feel like it or you don't. Whether you're sleepy, you're tired, not in the mood, you get rid of all those emotions, and you just say, "I'm going to get it done." So the real solution and the real success formula is this: we all sell products and services. Yes, do you all agree with that? Yeah? Okay. Just raise your hand, or give me a thumbs up if you all agree. We all sell products and services, right? The formula is, you take prospects, you turn them into customers, and you get revenue. That's so where do we spend our time? Think about yourself. Think about yourself, okay? Where we should be spending 60, 70, 80% of our time is actually looking for prospects, qualifying them, presenting to them, having persuasive conversations, handling their objections, okay, trial closing, closing, and follow up. We should be spending 60, 70, 80% of our time getting prospects and turning them into customers. All right? You do not answer this out loud. Do not type it in the chat. I want you to think how you spend your day. Okay? Do you spend your day, fixing files, checking email, doing prep, all those things? Those are all necessary things in our profession. But one of the things that I do is that I tend to do those things which I call admin or logistics or whatever you call it. I tend to do it in the evenings because I spend most of my time talking to prospects and talking to customers. If you spend most of your time talking to prospects and talking to customers, the revenue is going to come automatically. It's going to come automatically. All right. We're going to talk about closing in one of the other sessions. And a lot of people say, "Oh, closing is so difficult, and we don't know when to close." I'm gonna teach you how to close, okay, without closing. I'm gonna teach you that closing is the easiest part of the sales process. All right. So the cure for all this is leads. Lots of leads solves lots of problems. When you have an abundance of leads, okay, you cannot help but take some of those leads and qualify them and turn them into customers. The problem that we have is that we rely on one deal, we rely on one meeting, we rely on one client. Okay, and when we lose a deal, we feel, some of us feel like, oh, I lost the client, I lost the prospect. They said, I want to think about it. We need to check with our boss. I need to check with my wife. They give all kinds of excuses, and you thought it was going to be a deal, and you thought, okay, this is going to be my best month because of that prospect, right? And then when you lose it, it's like everything comes crashing down. So we never rely on one deal, one prospect. We never rely on that. All right. And we must shift our mindset and our actions. Okay. Whatever your business, whatever your profession, whatever you're selling, that should be your priority. Your priority should be marketing and selling. One of the interesting things, that I first read about or I heard about last year after March is that companies were, trying to cut their budgets and whatnot, right? And it was so interesting to me that they were cutting. Oh, we have to cut our marketing budget, we have to cut our sales budget, we have to cut our sales team, and I'm going. That's where you get your revenue. Why would you cut that budget, right? And if anything, the companies that are doing extremely well are the ones that are consistent in their marketing, right? So let me shift a little bit. Uh, I'll illustrate it this way. We must have the marketer mindset, right? Let's say you own a bakery. Let's say you own a bakery. David, let me ask you this question, okay? Let's say you own a bakery and someone asks you, what do you do? How would you answer? You own a bakery
Mm.
and you bake bread, cakes, or whatever it is, and someone say, "Hey, David, what do you do?" What would you say?
Okay, normally we say, okay, we are a bakery in town
Right?
that we sell this range of cakes for occasions such as.
Right?
Okay, we're also available for online delivery.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you can check it
Okay.
out on our website or Facebook for all the range of cake design and flavor.
That's actually a little better than most bakers would answer, right? Okay? Because most people that own a bakery, when someone says to you, "What do you do?" they would say, "I'm a baker." Okay,
Full
if
stop.
let's say you own, right, and then if you
Okay.
own a restaurant, they would say, they would ask you, "Hey, Chris, what do you do?" "Oh, I'm a restaurateur," right? Or if
Mm.
you're a florist, or whatever your profession is, you would say, "I'm a florist, I'm a restaurateur, I'm a baker," correct?
Yeah, yeah. Even though,
And
sorry, but even though what I
yeah,
realized in Malaysia is in the service line of customer service, they're
right,
very robotic. When we go
right.
in, when we say that, do you have this stock, these models and so on, they say, no stock. What you see is
Yeah,
here, but they don't take the effort. It's like, all right, when do you need it? Is it urgent? Can I recommend you to
right,
one of our nearest branch? Let me check
right.
at the next arrival. It means they don't really have the so-called is the selling mindset.
Initiative,
It's not begging for sales, but at least another step forward into retain the customer to
right.
manage
Helping the
expectation much better.
right to we call that solving the customer's problem,
Yeah.
right? And in your example, when I mean, I come across that all the time. All right, and then in my mind it's like, you don't want to sell, is it? Right? That's what we say. Okay. And if we can take this, yeah, if we can, what I'm about to share with you, if we can take it, and first we have to put it in ourselves, then we have to put it in our team. All right. So the mindset shift is this: whatever your profession is, whatever your product or service is, I want you to think, I'm a marketer first, and I'm a business person first, and my products are baked goods like bread or cakes. So, yes, you can still answer I'm a baker, but in your mind, you are a marketer and a business person first, and your product is baked goods. All right. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you can change this mindset, when you
Yeah.
can change this mindset, yeah, whatever your product or service is, if you can change this mindset, then we can proceed to the skill sets that you must have as a marketer. Okay,
Okay.
because the days of, I'm going to have a five-star bakery and people are going to be lining up to buy my cakes, those days are gone. I mean, they've been gone for a long time, but
For
especially
sure, yeah.
now.
People have more
Right?
choices nowadays.
Correct. And then, so how do you stand out? That comes to what I said earlier. How do you stand out from your competition? Okay, I I'll give you an example. There's I like to go to certain places to buy certain things,
Okay.
whether it's shirts, shoes, whatever it is. I will always go to the same place because I'm extremely loyal. All right, I'll always go to the same place, but I don't go to the same places because I like the ambiance, or whatever it is, right? Because everybody has nice ambiance.
Yes.
Everybody can be convenient. Okay, when I go there, the people that I talk to that service me when I want to buy something, they can they will meet my needs. I never hear, I don't know, unless they really don't know, because a lot of companies, they hire the I don't know people. Hey, does this come in blue? Or I don't know. Do you have this? Do you have this in double XL? I don't know. And they lose customers that way, right? Okay, so when we have the marketer mindset, we got to have confidence. The confidence has to come first, and the belief is the self motivation. You have to have a little bit. Okay, I will tell you where confidence comes from. Okay, confidence comes. You see, you cannot just create confidence. Confidence is something very, very interesting. You can say, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to do it," and you psych yourself up, and you say, "I'm going to do it," right? But once you hit a little bump, yeah, your confidence is gone. Okay, I'm going to share with you a secret of where confidence comes from. Okay, confidence comes from skill. Okay, confidence comes from skill, and how you develop skill is that you learn a skill from someone that is doing it, and you take that skill and you practice it every day. You see, confidence comes from skill, but from skill, you move into competence. Competence means you have a skill now and you know how to use it. All right. My closing ratio on some of most of the products and services that my company provides, and we don't only do training, we do other things as well in other industries. Yeah. Some of the products, my closing ratio is as low as 35-40%. Some of the products and services that we provide, my closing ratio is about 70 to 80%. Okay. Now, uh, if I know my ratio is, say, 40%, and I talk to 10 people and I only close four, yes, I have success four times, right? But I'm also being rejected six times. Okay. I'm being rejected more than I have a success rate. Does that make sense? Okay. But most of us don't accept that. Okay. Most of us say, "Oh, this person told me no, something's wrong," and then we feel we feel down. But if you know your numbers and you know that out of 10 people you talk to, you can close four. Okay. I'm you know the I'm not saying don't do your best. Of course, do your best, right? But you have to realize that you are going to get rejected some of the time.
Yes.
All right, and rejection should not hit your confidence if you have skills and you have competence. Does that make sense? And the success that you have, it actually fuels your confidence. All right, it makes you more motivated. You see, self motivation is something that's very interesting also. Okay, um, you cannot just create confidence or suddenly become motivated. We have to realize that everything that we do, we have two choices. We only have two choices in everything that we do. And those two choices are we either do it or we don't. Okay? Um, have you ever thought that you want to get more healthy and fit? I think we all have, right? And we
Yes.
say, oh, you know what? I want to be more healthy and fit. I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m., go for a 5 km jog, and then I'm gonna have a healthy breakfast. Then your alarm clock rings at 5 a.m., and we're faced with two simple choices. The two simple choices are either you wake up and you go for that exercise run, or you go back to sleep. Those are the only two choices in every single thing that we face. We either do it or we don't. All right? We face this dilemma in everything. Okay? And what holds us back is our emotions and our feelings. I don't feel like waking up at 5 a.m. I don't feel like, I know we need to make cold calls, but I don't feel like it. And the reason we don't feel like it is because we don't have the confidence in our skills to be able to get it done. All right. Now, that was the mindset. The skill set, we really need three basic things. Okay, we need a lead generation system. We need skills in lead generation. All right. We need to have a lead generation process. And then we need to have a client conversion system, a client conversion process. You see, all of these are systems and processes. If you take the emotion out of lead generation and client conversion, how many times have you experienced this? Yeah, I know I can close this deal. You're talking to them, right? Either on the phone or Zoom or in person. You're talking to them, and you're afraid to ask that closing question because you're afraid that what if they say no? And then sometimes we go, you know what? Why don't you just think about it? And then if you want to buy, just let me know. We think that's the soft approach. I'm telling you, that's the coward approach. That's the mediocre approach. If you We talked about your product and service, the quality, back it up. We talked about that already, right? If your product is quality, and you are quality, and you're giving it at a fair and reasonable price, and you're giving it to them at an exceptional value, why are you hesitant to close? All right. Now let's talk about lead generation. So generating leads, uh, um, important skills and functions that ensure the viability, profitability, and longevity of a business. I Sometimes I think about companies that they get huge amounts of investment, angel money, seed money, whatever it is, and they burn through that, right? I cannot understand that because they're hoping for the long run, isn't it? But we, as small business owners, we as sales and marketing professionals, we cannot hope to be profitable in the long run. We need to be profitable now. Do you all agree with that? Yes. Just raise your
Yes.
hand if you, yeah. Okay. So we cannot say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and hopefully in 8 months or 12 months, I'll start turning a profit. That's BS. In your business, whatever your business is, if you cannot turn a profit in the first 1, 2, or 3 months, you should shut down. I'm telling you, you should shut down. Okay. If you're a sales and marketing professional, and you tell yourself, oh, you know what, it's going to take me 3 months or 6 months to find my first client, Leave that industry. You should. Okay, go find a job somewhere else. Now, I also want to let you know what I'm saying is rather harsh, but here's what I will tell you. My first job at 17 years old, my first job at 17 years old, I worked in a factory. Okay, I worked in a factory carrying bags of materials, 25 kg, up two flights of stairs into a giant hopper, cut it open and pour it in and let it cook. While it's cooking, I go down the two flights of stairs and I fill up whatever was cooking. It was a polymer factory. When you buy shoes, you get those silica beads, right? Those silica beads. The factory I worked at made those beads. Okay, so we had to fill up a 25 kg bag, and then that was my job for 10 months. That was my first job. I was a laborer. Okay, I only started my first sales job when I was 24. Okay, and the reason I tell you this is that I went from a factory worker at the age of 17 in 1987 to earning 100,000 my first year in selling. Okay, so it doesn't matter uh, the product or service, whether it's tangible or intangible, whether you sell local, regional, or global, whether you sell online or offline, whether you sell business to business, business to consumer, business to government, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in real estate or property, you sell insurance, pharmaceutical, retail, wholesale, you're a business owner, entrepreneur, sales professional, marketing professional, it doesn't matter. Okay, what it comes down to is attracting qualified and interested leads and prospects and turning them into customers. I'm sure you would agree with me. So let's break down lead generation. There's four components: prospecting, qualifying, presenting, and social media. Okay. Um, as a company, we started social media for advertising and revenue purposes back in 2006, 2007. Sorry, 2004, 2005, and we got quite good at it. That we added it as a service in 2007. So we've been using, and in 2007, it's very different from now. Even now, social media is different from 3 months ago, right? It's always changing. All right. So okay, prospecting. Prospecting is the activities that you need to do in order to find leads and prospects. Qualifying is the activities, the techniques, the actions, and the words that you need to determine if the leads and prospects that you come across, whether they're we need two things, right, from prospects. We need to find out if they're interested to buy from you, right? Because if they're not interested to buy, they're not going to be a client. Okay. The second component is that they must be qualified. Even if they're interested to buy from you, if they don't, and I don't mean it to sound this way, but if they don't have the budget to buy your product and service, then they cannot be a client. No matter how interested they are, if they don't have the money, they cannot buy from you. No matter how much money they have, if they're not interested in your product and service, no matter how much money they have, they also will not buy from you. So we need to qualify them on these two things. Now, having the money to be able to buy from you does not mean that they will, because they must like your product and service more than this money that they have in their pocket. Does that make sense? They must be willing to give you that money in exchange for your product and service. Okay? And how we do that is we can go on all day about this. You solve the problem. Actually, what I'll do is I'll send you a couple links on YouTube that I talk about these specific situations. I'll send it to you within the next 24 hours, because we are recording this session, and everybody will get a recording of this session. So I'll send you those links that talk specifically about qualifying and the closing. I'll send you some links. Okay. So when we present, we have to provide information, and we must assist them in determining if our product or service or our offer satisfies their needs and solves the problem. We must always think of solving the problem. We talked about this a little bit earlier, David. All right, we must solve the customer's problem. Okay, and of course, on the lead generation, uh, social media. What are the platforms? What's the content? What's the engagement? What are your funnels? And what are you posting that you would use to attract leads, inquiries, prospects, and customers? All right. Now, when we go into the client conversion, this is what we need to do in order to close the deals. Uh, what do we need to do to get more clients, to get revenue and profits? Okay, we need persuasion. Okay, persuasion is, what are you going to say? What are you going to do to demonstrate to the prospect that they need you? They got to want you, but they also must need you. You must be the one ingredient, yeah, that they say, you know what, I don't think I can do better. I don't think I can save time. I don't think I can save money. I don't think I can look better. I don't think I can solve this problem without Chris. Okay? Then we need, see, persuasion is a skill. Some people think it's a talent. It's not, everything that I'm talking about, today, yeah, none of it is talent. Because if you need talent to to be successful, I would still be working in a factory today, right? I literally had no talent, all right? What I did have is the ability to work hard. I also have the ability to recognize that I lack skills. I lack certain skills, and I have the ability to go out and learn these skills from somebody, a book, or a program, and I have the ability to make myself learn the skill and practice it every day. And because of discipline and regimentation, I implement it every single day. That's what we need. Uh, I believe there are a lot of talented people here, whether you're talented in cooking, whether you're talented in whatever you are, right? I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, and you can hate me for saying it, I'm telling you, your talent is not enough alone, all right? You need to have persuasion, it's a skill, all right? You need to be able to handle objections. Handling objections is not a talent, it's a skill. Like, okay, uh, how do you handle I'm not interested? One of the sessions will actually cover handling objections. All right. How do you cover I'm not interested? How do you how do you answer check with my wife, my husband, my partner, my boss? How do you handle it's too expensive? Okay. Most of us will say when a prospect or when a prospect tells us, "Oh, no, 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 it's too expensive." What do we answer? We answer, "Oh, no, actually it's not." That means they said too expensive, and you said no, it's not. Then you start to fight. So how do you handle that? I will teach you how to handle that on that session. All right. Oh, I don't think I need it. I don't see the need. How many times have we heard that? Right. When we hear that, it means that we didn't do something. No time right now. Call me later. Oh, my auntie, my uncle, my cousin is also doing this. If I want to buy, I'll buy from them. And then in my head, it's like, if your auntie or uncle or cousin is already doing this, why didn't you buy? Why don't you buy from them? Why did you agree to see me? Right? Then we talk about closing skills. Closing skills. Average salespeople, most of them close by saying, "Hey, so what do you think?" Right? Or, "Do you have any questions?" These are tired. They're ineffective. They're so lame, and they're unprofessional. And every single salesperson, business owner is saying this. Remember, we talked about standing out from your competition. What do you say instead of, "Do you have any questions? Do you want to buy?" Okay. Why not close like a true professional with effective ways of closing the sale? Okay. Then we talk about follow up techniques. Okay. Notice I say what you see in your screen is follow up techniques, not follow up talent. All right, because nobody that I've ever come across in 23 years of business, nobody is talented at follow up. Okay, it's a skill and it's technique. Okay, over 80% of salespeople, entrepreneurs, and business owners, they fail at follow up. Most follow up ineffectively, inefficiently, and unprofessionally. And they only follow up one time, two times, or three times, and then stop. Okay, you see, you've already done all of the work up to this point. If you stop at this point, what a waste. We'll also, in one of the sessions, we'll talk about follow up. I will share with you how to follow up professionally and persistently. Okay, I'll share with you one of my philosophies on follow up right now. Uh, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up until they buy or they die. Okay, I followed up with clients that are now clients for 4 years and 5 years, but I'm not selling something for $10. All right, your return, your revenue has to justify following up for 1 month, 6 months, 12 months, or 5 years. All right, I want to share a screenshot that one of the clients sent me. So, we see things like this. We see, okay, hey, you know what? I did this and then my results go up. But, I want to know how your results go up. All right. So, these guys, they send me, hey, our results went up. So I said, um, always give me the breakdown. Right.
Hmm.
And so they said, uh, they received 64 leads and inquiries in 4 days.
Ah.
All right. Let me ask you this question. Whatever your product or service is, how would you like to receive 64 leads in 4 days? That'd be awesome, right? Okay. I have never received 64 leads in 4 days because my product and service is different. I do consistently receive between 3 to 5 leads, questions, or inquiries every single day. That's consistency. Okay. So then I say, what's the yeah, you got 64 leads, that's great, but what's the result? Or what's the breakdown? So the breakdown is I'm looking up because I have two screens, yeah, not that I'm ignoring anybody. So the breakdown is 64 leads and counting. That means it didn't stop at 64. Okay. They set 31 appointments. They sent out 17 brochures, three bought on the spot. Nine of them no answer, and we get that, right? We get a question, and then we answer them, and then suddenly it's like no sound. They disappeared, right? People will disappear. Okay, what you need to do is if you have 10 inquiries and two or three disappear, it doesn't hurt. But if you have two inquiries and both disappear, that hurts, right? So four decline or cannot afford. And then he follows up and says, never thought that we can get results like this. Never thought we could do that. Okay. Here's another one. Since we started your marketing service, sales have increased by 4 times, more than I promised them. And when I hear that, um, most companies say, "Oh, thank you very much." Right? My answer is, you know what? We'll do better for you. Okay. So I shared the things that I shared with you because I really want you to use the things that I share with you to be able to move forward in your business. Okay. Um, I know the slide says 12. This is actually the old screenshot. It's not 12. It's 7 now. We did 12 in the last batch, so we are doing 7 sessions. Today is the first of 7. So we have 6 more. We're doing it every Friday. I don't believe that we're skipping any this time because of there's no public holidays or anything like that on a Friday on this series. So we are doing these webinars every Friday for the remaining 6 weeks. So 6 more times. All right, they're all free. Um, we're not going to charge for these sessions. Um, we don't do, like insane product pitch and, get all these bonuses and then everything is like 300,000, but you get it for what you get everything for 1,000. I don't do that. All right. And it's not a hard sell. I may offer some products and services. I don't think we'll have anything today, but I may offer products and services. Okay, uh, in some of the sessions. Um, so I encourage you to attend each and every session that we have over the remaining 6 weeks. All right. Now I'll mention this also. We talked about Facebook and digital marketing. We'll get into our Q&A in a minute. So I invite you to, ask your questions. I'm here to answer them for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share some resources, free things for you, which I'll send to you within 24 hours, together with the recording of this session, together with the YouTube links on the closing and prospecting. I'll send that out to you. I'm gonna also give you two free things. I'm going to give you a Facebook and social media ad campaign checklist, and also a Facebook and social media post and ad structure guideline. So what does that mean?
Mm.
What that means is that you need to have certain components when you're doing your Facebook posting and your social media advertising. All right. And then it's not enough to say, hey, I got this product, you should buy it, this is how much. It's not enough. We have a structure for a post, a social media post, and a social media ad, and I'm going to send that to you. Okay, so I'll get those sent out to you together with the recording of this session. um, and then in the email there'll be a link for you to request those documents, because I have a separate delivery system for that. Is We'll send it to you right away by PDF, by email, but you need to click on the link and request for that. So just watch out for the email that you get in the next
Mm.
24 hours. All right. And when you request that, there's no obligation, but I'll also include a special program on getting your digital marketing funnel set up and ready for you. And all that will be sent to you within 24 hours. Okay. And so what I'd like to do now is I'd like to start our Q&A session. And let me close this out real quick. All right. Okay. So do we have any questions from anyone? And I'll probably stop the Facebook live stream after we answer the questions.
Mm.
The only, okay, there are no silly questions most of the time. Okay, most of the time, but a question that is not asked. Um, the sad part is sometimes people are shy to ask, or whatever it is, right? Uh, this is what I will do for you as well. Okay, so how do I say your name? Chi Tong, is it? Is it Chi Tong?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So, okay, he asked a question about 15 minutes ago. Let's see. The question is, what is the difference in client conversion, system, and process? Okay. Isn't a process a system? You're right. The process is embedded in the system. Okay. The system is, this is how I would say it. People say strategy and tactic, right? Uh, Tactics are part of a strategy. See, the strategy is the overall picture, and the tactic is what you do in that. So the system is the whole. For me, the system is the whole thing, and the process is, what's in that system, what's the flow, and then we go even further. What are the things that you must do at each individual part of the system? Does that make sense? Okay, awesome. Okay, do we have any other questions from anybody?
Mm.
Okay, while you're thinking of that, I'm going to end the Facebook live session right now. So
Mm.
just give me one quick sec for that. Okay, and while we're thinking, okay, what is the objective of this program? Which program? The one that you're on right now?
Yes.
Okay. Um, you mean the objective of this session?
The
Because
objective of session and the rest of the weeks?
Okay, my objective.
Yeah.
Okay, my objective is you're all part of a soft funnel system. Okay, a number of you will end up buying something from me. That I mean, this is reality. I'm not doing this because I'm kind, even though I am. All right. Uh, Most of the people here, I think at least half of them, I think kind of know me, right? The other half don't really know me. So this is an introduction, and the way that I sell is it can be hard and it can be soft depending on the situation. So this 7 series is part of my soft touch. Okay, so my belief and the way that I work is I'm going to give you value, 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 give you a lot of value, and if you want more, then you would give revenue to me. Does that make sense?
So what
I
will
don't know
the
how. To,
ultimate things that we have to purchase? So that
okay, David went through the last series, correct?
Yes, some of
no,
it,
he
Okay,
not the
didn't have.
full
yeah,
series.
right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
came in. I think
about halfway,
uh,
right?
I came in halfway and it's ending.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm going to tell you, and I think Yati, you also did the series, right? And you ended up buying something, isn't it? Okay. Um, in the
Yes.
interest of transparency, I actually have no issues telling you what I'm going to sell you and what I'm going to ask you to pay me.
Mm,
It, I think it was less than 300, right, Yati? David?
yeah.
I think I offered less than 300 ringgit, yeah, not US,
Yes,
right?
around that time.
Right. So it's going to be a similar offer. I'm going to
Okay.
make a couple changes instead of a whole day session. I'm going to break it up into 3 half-day sessions. It means you're actually going to get more. Okay.
Mm.
Instead of one whole day, you're going to get 3 half-days. So it's about 50% more. And I'm going to keep the price point the same. So, I do I pronounce your name as Ten
Tin,
Amu?
tin, tin.
In. Okay. So I think what you're alluding to is that you're suspecting that I'm going to sell a program that is going to be thousands and thousands. Does that sound about right?
Just out of curiosity, you know.
Okay, understood. I feel the same way. So the objective of this program is two things. The first is to give you enough skills that you can function without paying a single cent. All right. If you want more, I will be offering three half-day sessions in sequence. It's one program split over 3 half-days, and I will probably sell it for 290, 295 ringgit, right around there. The last batch that we did, we ended up with I think 48 or right around there students in that class. All right. I'm not the kind of person that will give you shit and get a lot of money out of you. All right. I hope that answered your question.
Okay. So it
Okay.
will only happens at the end of the 6 week
Well, I'll
program.
start introducing it. Probably from the second or third session onwards,
Oh.
uh, because I got to get you curious about it, isn't it? Okay. And I don't think you'll ever come across anybody as transparent as me. And David is actually in this industry, right, David?
Yes,
I
and
think.
also same with my friend Chitong Fu.
Okay. So I think that, and this is a very risky question, that you probably never come across um, a trainer, whatever you want to call it, as transparent as I. Am I right to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Do we have any other questions, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, if you're thinking of questions, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to take a group picture of us. So if you can put your video on so that we can see you, I'd love to take a picture. And Azar, Azhar is in Azahar is in Terengganu. Yati is in Terengganu. Oh, Celine is here. I didn't realize. Okay. Oh, teacher is here also. Dia, is it? Okay. So we got people in different parts of Malaysia. Uh, let's see. And if I remember, Yati went through the last series. Uh, David went through the last series as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Haji and Tiu and is it Raja Gopal? If you can put your video on, if you're able to, I'd like to take a picture. And I like how Celine went from the kitchen to the living room for the picture, right?
Yeah, just for you, Chris.
Thank you, Celine. I think I look a bit whiter also. Okay, on the count of three, we're gonna take 2 or 3 pictures. The first picture, everybody can kind of look normal. On the count of three, 1, 2, 3. Okay, on the second picture, let's see if we can give a great big smile. In fact, let's give a great big smile. I'll even do a double smile on the count of three, 1, 2, 3. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Do we have any final questions before we end our session today? Azar, are you saying something? We can see you moving but no sound.
We'd like to meet you next Friday.
Okay, awesome. But not face to face, yeah, here, right?
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. That we can do.
Same time, right?
Same time, yes. If you have not read, if for today's session, if I recall, some of you may have only clicked the 21st. What you should do is, and I'll send it in the email as well. But whatever link that you have that got you to this session, just go back to the Zoom and check all the boxes. Check all the boxes, and then you'll be able to attend all the sessions. Celine, if you can send me the PowerPoint sometime today, I would like to work on it this weekend. Okay? And Yati, please schedule your next session for next week. I'll send you the link for that. All right? Okay. Let's see. Okay. If there are no final questions, I do appreciate everybody listening, paying attention, asking the questions. Tin, any question that you ask, most of the people will know. Whatever question you ask, I will always answer honestly, truthfully,
Yes.
and as directly as possible. Okay? So the question that you ask is not the hardest I've ever had in my life. All right? So feel free to ask any question, anyone. Okay? I want to wish everybody to stay safe. Please be careful, and have a blessed weekend and blessings for all of us. All right? Thank you, everybody.
Same to you, Chris.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Chris.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, take care. Blessed weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Yati, I'll send you the link later. Take care, Rabi.
Chris, how to be in touch with you?
Who asked me that? Sorry.
Yeah, Tin here.
Oh, Tin. You know what? Let me do this since you're still here. I'm gonna send you my mobile number,
Okay.
and it'll have that's best way to get a hold of me is WhatsApp. I answer very quick, and here's my email address. Okay, you can copy and paste that into a Word document or something, or just write it down. Let me know when you're done.
Oh, you're from Singapore, is it?
I was born in Singapore.
Uh-huh.
My dad is American. My mom is Chinese, Singapore Chinese, and I moved to the. I actually was born and grew up in Singapore, but I moved to the States to San Diego in 1994, and then I
Right.
spent about 20 plus years there, and then
Okay.
I've been in Asia for about 10 years. Malaysia for 10, 11 years. And around Asia, clients and everything for the last 10 years.
See. So where are you based currently at the moment?
Right now, I'm stuck in Malaysia. My
Oh,
wife is in Philippines right now. We were
oh,
supposed to open the office last year, April,
uh-huh.
but of course March happened, and
Okay.
so she's there now, taking care of things there.
Uh-huh.
You know, getting all our stuff ready.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my
Uh,
my HQ is still in the U.S.
I see. I see.
Yeah, but I
By any
haven't been.
chance, by any chance, do you give any personal coaching or something?
Sure. Why don't we do this? Why don't you send me a message?
Uh-huh.
Um, Tell me what you want, what you do.
Uh-huh.
What are the challenges that you're facing? Actually, what's your industry, Tin?
I'm into life insurance actually.
Okay. With which company?
Great Eastern.
Okay. Uh, we can have a conversation.
Uh,
Um, you're probably having two challenges right now. Uh, the challenges are you don't know how to talk to your prospects uh, online or on the phone because
yeah.
you're very used to the face to face. Let's have a coffee. Let's have a lunch.
Yeah.
Um,
Correct.
that's your first challenge. The second challenge that you have is if you do make an online meeting, they tend to blow it off. They say, "Oh, I cannot make it," or whatever the reason is, right?
Yeah.
Your third challenge is that they'll say, "Okay, I'll meet you." They meet you digitally or on the phone. You see, the problem that a lot of insurance agents have is that they need to explain on paper. That's the
Yeah.
issue. Okay. So let's say you manage to do a presentation for them. Your third challenge is that you're always going to hear, I don't know if I want to do it now because times are uncertain, and those are the new excuses that you're hearing since last year to now. Does that
Yeah.
sound about right? Yeah.
Right.
So those issues we can solve. We can solve. Okay. In Malaysia, the insurance penetration is less than 50%.
Right.
Okay, that means out of course, kids, whatever, yeah. But in Malaysia, population of about 35 million, you have less than a 50% insurance presentation.
Mhm.
I'll share one technique with you very quickly. Okay, the problem is that insurance agents now try to find people that do not have insurance and sell it to them. What
Right.
you should be doing in addition to that is you should be looking for people that already have insurance and add to it because they've already demonstrated that they buy insurance
Yeah.
and they see the value of it. You add a rider, you add a smaller policy to get your foot in the door, and then you sell more over time. But yeah, we can talk about that. Not an issue. By the things that I mentioned to you, I think you can tell that I'm rather familiar with the industry.
Yeah.
Okay, so just send me a WhatsApp.
Okay.
I'll send you a link so that we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks,
Okay.
Chris.
Awesome. Thank you so
Right.
much for being here today
Yeah.
and
Sure.
asking the questions. All right.
Right. No worries.
Okay. I'll
Right.
send me the WhatsApp and I'll reply right away.
Right. Sure.
Okay. Haji, thank you for being here. I know that internet is a little bit of a challenge to you. Hopefully, we see you next week. I'll talk to you soon, Tin. Okay. Blessings for everyone, and I'm going to end the session now. Thank you.